Hi and welcome to Blue Sky Bonsai, and welcome back to the second part of this series on making your own bonsai garden. We'll start with a quick recap of what I did in part 1. Now this is a technical and extremely accurate plan of the bonsai garden, made possible by doodling on my phone screen. The pergola overhead is a project for next summer. I spent some time doing some gardening work and filming it with 2 cameras, not sure why I did that. Then in the process I uprooted and potted a St John's wort that I found. Might make a future bonsai, might not. After that I marked out the perimeter and dug out some turf so that the bonsai garden level would be a little lower than the rest of the garden. Then I removed a water sprinkler, because that's not going to be much use once the bonsai benches and trees are there. I sealed off the plumbing in a way that shows quite clearly that I'm not fit to be a plumber. Next I started talking to the spirit level, and then I spent an inordinate amount of time just trying to level the ground. Once I'd proved to myself that it was sufficiently level, then I put a weed mat over all of the soil to stop weeds from growing up through the gravel, which you'll see me installing in this episode. Then I wasted a bit of time completely forgetting the camera was still running. The next job is that I need to get all of these blocks all exactly level, so that the wooden planks will go on top of them nice and level and make an even surface to put all the bonsai trees. And the way I'm going to do it is to put some sand underneath all of the blocks. However, over a long period of time the sand will gradually bed down. So what I'm going to do is add a tiny bit of cement to the sand. Not so much that the blocks are cemented to the ground, but just to create the sandy base kind of more solid, so that once the blocks are level, then they'll stay level in that position. That's the theory anyway. So here I have a load of sand. I'm just going to put it underneath. It's already mixed in 5% of cement powder, which is not enough to hold it solidly in place, but it's enough to make the sand go pretty solid. At least turn it into a kind of patty. So the idea is just to put the sand where the blocks are right now, and just pour some on there and then try and level it out. Now try and do each bench in turn, so I'll do this one first. It doesn't matter if the sand sticks out the edges of the blocks. Let's try that. Now once again we want to get them pretty well aligned. Pretty level, but that does need to be higher. Well, it's the end of November and I'm down to a t-shirt. Anyway, carrying on the work here. So I use my rubber hammer, which is quite heavy, but it's not going to break any masonry. And little by little, we just get it into place. Let's say that's level. And now, finally, I'm going to have the great pleasure in putting the gravel down on the ground. I've been wanting to do this from the beginning of the project. Now's the time. So I've got about, I think it was 18 bags of 20 kilograms each. Let's do the math, that's about 360 kilograms of gravel. Should be enough for this space and a bit left over. We'll see how it goes. Got it all down in the garage, so bringing them up in about 40 kilograms at a time in this wheelbarrow. Otherwise I'll break my back with the weight of them. So I bought these wooden planks. I bought 12 of them. They're 2 meters 20 in length, and I only need 1 meter 80, so I'm going to have to measure them and cut them all down to 180. So measuring 180, taking care not to cut through the tape measure itself. Score a line right across, and then we cut it with a handheld circular saw. Just replace the battery so it should go straight through, no problem. Fantastic. Now I've got 12 planks of wood. It's pine and it comes already impregnated with the treatment against the wet, but I'm actually going to add some more of this treatment. It's matte, natural, so it should add no colour at all to it, but it's apparently it should last 10 years before I have to reapply. I love seeing these knots in the wood, of course knowing that they are branches. They were the nodes of branches when this was a tree, not just a piece of wood, but it used to be a tree. I like that. What a blue sky, look at that. I've got 4 planks of wood, but I think I also want to create a little gap in between each one. And I've made the base of the bench wide enough so that I can afford probably about a 5mm gap in between each plank. Now the other thing about a gap between each plank is that when it gets pretty windy here, there's still a possibility that pots could blow off. So having a gap between each plank allows me to actually get a little wire around each pot. I'm not actually going to have to fix down all of the planks because the 3 back planks are going to have another couple of blocks on them. They're heavy enough to hold the planks down. So I'm only going to have to really fix the front plank down and then the 2 that are on top of the blocks. Okay, so let's just get these blocks on here, and then I'll fix down the front planks. And that way I can see where to make the hole. Just hope that goes in. Perfect. Right, that's one. Promise. And now it's time for one of those cheesy before and after comparisons. And for the record, the whole project took about 4 weeks of working on Sundays, so I hope that gives you some idea of how long it might take you. Oh, and by the way, I was able to use some of the spare parts, so there's an idea for a future expansion. I guess it won't always look this tidy, but I can certainly have a try.